Hello, YouTube. Today I actually have a question. I've been trying to track down a book that I read when I was a kid, and I know I've read it as a kid. My siblings have read it too, and they remember it, but we're in a conundrum because we do not know the name of the book, or if it's a separate book or a book part of like a group of books. But I can give you the entire story in decent detail, except for the names of the characters, because that's again one of the few things I cannot remember. So what I'm hoping that is maybe someone somewhere out there knows this story and can, or knows of someone who can help me direct to finding this story. So the story goes: there's a family of five. The mother, the oldest sister, two younger brothers, and a younger brother who's a baby. And they live on a boat, a junk, I believe, in China. And they're super poor. And to make money, the mother ferries people across the river to get them from side A to side B. And the daughter, she sometimes helps like people carry stuff also for extra money here and there. And the story goes that one day she saw an old lady struggling with a large package, and she went up to the old lady to offer to help, and the old lady at first was like, "Oh my God, thief, get away, get away." And she's like, "No, I was wondering if you need help carrying the bag. My brothers and I will help you carry the bag across the river. My mother has a boat." And the old lady was at first, she's like, no, you know what, fine. So she accepts the offer. They go on the boat, and she says, "When you're done, I shall reward you with something better than money." Supposedly. Again, I'm going to confess that I'm not 100% sure if I'm telling the story as accurately as possible, but this is to my knowledge. So back to the story. So the daughter and the two older brothers, obviously the baby can't help the old lady carry her package across the river and to her house or her shop. I don't remember exactly what it is. And the old lady, reaches in the bag, pulls out something and hands it to the daughter, the older sister, and takes off into the building. When they look at the item, it was a gold coin. Now, out of story. Before you guys even pointed out, it is not this book, The Magic Coin. I've looked into that. I believe that's the name of the book. It's not that one. I've looked, and it really isn't the same one. Back in the story. Now, they were surprised because it's a gold coin, and they're like, this can't be right. This old lady gave us a gold coin when normally we get like a few pennies here and there. So they started heading back to their mother's boat because they had traveled a bit of a distance, and they came across, I believe the first person was the butcher. It was either the butcher or the tailor, so I'm going to just say the butcher. And he's like, "So what do you have there?" And she's like, "We were paid this gold coin by mistake." And the butcher's like, "Well, your fortune has changed. Your diet should reflect upon that." And he gives them good food to eat. And, they really say, "Well, we can't afford it." He goes, "Don't worry, pay me back when you get the money." Later on, they're walking home, they're carrying the meat home, and they came across the tailor. And he's like, "So what do you have there? Like, I see you have fine meat and all that. What's going on?" And she's like, "Oh, we were given this gold coin. We don't know why, And he goes, "Oh, I see your fortune has changed. you can't be dressed in rags. Let me dress you. So he gives them like really good clothing to wear, the finest silks and all that. And they're like, well, we don't have the money to pay you back because this was a mistake. He goes, no, 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 don't worry about it. Pay me back when you find your fortune. And so now dressed to the T's and, carrying great food, they're continue walking home when they come across the shipbuilder and his two sons. And he's like, wow, I hardly recognize you. What's going on? And she goes, well, we were given this coin and it was a mistake, but, this old lady gave us this coin for helping her across the river. And they're like, oh, I see your fortune has changed. Well, let's give you something better than that small boat your mother pilots. Hop on this giant junk that I just built. My sons and I will row it for you. And so they jumped on the boat. And they're coming back, and the mother is so surprised when a giant boat comes out of nowhere. And the little girl is there, and she's like, hey, Mom, this is what happened. We got this coin, and, the butcher gave us great food, the tailor gave us great clothing, and the shipwright guy gave us this boat. And the mother's like, we can't afford it. Oh, I had this gold coin, but it was a mistake, and the shipbuilder's like, you know what, when you come to fortune, pay us back. And a little while later, they're making a fortune ferrying people across the boat with their new boats, their new clothing, and their new health because of the food. When the girl sees a familiar character, it's the old lady. And this time she's got 2 bundles of something with her. And she, at first she's like, go away. And the little girl goes, don't you recognize me? I helped you last time. And the old lady's like, oh, I hardly recognize you with all this clothing. So what happened? And the girl quickly explains, you gave me a gold coin by mistake. I have it with me. I didn't want to spend it. It's yours if you want it back. We think you gave it to us by mistake. And the old lady's like, go get it. And she starts laughing and she goes, that's not a gold coin. I told you it's something better than a gold coin. So she proceeds to take the gold coin, unwraps it, and it's like a gum. It's a gold foiled covered gum that looks like a coin. And so she puts it in her mouth, proceeds to chew it, and just keeps chewing it. And she goes, see, it's gum. And so she gives, the 2 brothers, the older brothers, the mother, the girl, even the 2 shipwrights' sons, they get gum, if I remember correctly. And they're all laughing now because it's such a foolish mistake that the little girl made, thinking that this woman gave her, a gold coin. And I remember the little boy had one to the baby, but he can't chew because he's still a baby, so the mother kept his to the side. And the mother now saves money, and she sets up 5 bundles, 1 for her family and all that because they need money to live. Then she sets aside 4 bundles. 1 for the butcher for giving them all that good food. 1 for the tailor for giving them all those great clothing. And then the largest one was for the shipwright for giving them that big ship for them to survive on. And that's the story. And the issue, like I said, I'm having is I cannot seem to remember if the story is part of a large book of other stories, like how they have the English books that have like sub-stories in them, or like just like a little folklore book, or if it's its own book. But again, I remember it so much in detail, as you can see. But again, I'm just having a hard time remembering what the name of the story or even the name of the little girl is. If you YouTubers or any of your friends or families happen to know what the story is, or may have helped me in the right direction. I've already talked with different librarians. We've sent it to different across the libraries to see if they can help us identify it, and nobody has been able to. The closest, like I said, was the magic coin, the golden coin. That didn't help. Can you guys please help me with this? Would be much appreciated. Anyways, that's the story with my rambling involved, and this is a completely different than normal video. It's been bothering me for the past 4 or 5 years. Like, I've been that long looking for this book. I just want it so I can read it to my kids and all that. I've been able to track down other books in a similar fashion, and I just want to share this part of my childhood with my kids. I can give them the partial story. I just want the full story. Anyways, thank you so much, YouTube. I got to get going. If you know it, please write in the comments, and hopefully we can discover the name of the book. Anyways, peace out. Bye-bye.